It's going to be a shorter one today because it is what it is, and that's life. I've done some that are closer to 20 minutes, some that are shorter, a little bit of variety, not a problem. So today's persuasion technique I want to talk about is the foot in the door, or also door in the foot. It goes both ways. Allegedly, this goes back to Benjamin Franklin, who had that pitch where you can make a small request and then use that to larger and larger and larger. And sometimes there are sales trainers and technicians who will say things like, as soon as you, the salesperson, sit down, you need to ask the person to do something for you, like ask for a stick of gum or ask for water or ask for a coffee or something like that. What I have done on sales calls is I will ask the person often to adjust. Sometimes I'll ask them to adjust their volume. I'll ask them to do something, a little bit of a foot in the door. Now, I do not do this in order to persuade. I do this because I can't hear them, or because they forgot to turn mute off. Joshua, are you saying that you don't use the foot in the door technique? Yes. Yes, I am in fact saying that. Sometimes door in the foot works even better. Foot in the door. What's door in the foot? Do you remember yesterday we talked about the Overton window and how one way to shift the Overton window is to go over the top, talk about something that's outside of the zone of acceptability. And then what you can do is you can then cause everyone to move in your direction simply by being the one who now pulls people towards you. And we gave the example of averages. If you have 5 ones, what's the average of the 5 ones? Well, it's 1. But what's the average of 5 ones when you add a number 9? Oh, it's 2 point whatever. This is not a math show. Oh, it works like that. Yes, it does. So foot in the door is you have a small request and a larger one. Can I have a water, please? Can I have $1 million, please? And allegedly that works. I don't know about that. But what I have noticed is the active asking someone can put them onto your side. So for example, let's say you're having a dispute with your spouse or with a child, and you ask them something in the following the dispute, and there's still some bad vibes between you. Ask them to do something for you. That can sometimes create begin consistency of them being kinder to you, more respectful to you, where they're now acting out the identity of someone who respects you. So if they had been disrespectful, this is a good way for them to begin to assert for themselves a new identity, where I'm the kind of person who does what this person asks me to do. Powerful shift. Powerful shift. In sales, I don't know. I like door in the foot. This is where you pull an Overton window shift, a price anchor. Okay, we're using lots of terms here that aren't really helpful. So I will make this clear, and I'll wrap up the video today. The door in the foot is where you have a massive big honking ask that you know that they're probably not going to say yes to, and then you drop it down from there to something that is now far more reasonable. It's kind of like price anchoring, but instead of saying, here's the middle one that's the best value, and here's the one that's really cheap, and here's the one that's way too expensive for you because you can't afford it, that one right there, you start off with a huge, huge ask. And I've done this so well over the last 2018, I started doing this. So it's over 6 years now, 6.5 years. I've been using the door in the foot, I like to call it, because we turn it backwards. Here is this big, super expensive service. That's outside the budget, but okay, we can actually do this instead. Now, I had to design new offers so that neither of these is a lie, and I'm not pitching a 3x price for something that I will take 1x the dollars for. But I've actually had to create massive honkin' packages of professional services for clients. And a number of them have actually said, okay, sure, we can do that. Thinking, oh, seriously? You can, really? The door in the foot worked. It did. First time it worked was in 2018, October 2018. I should say that that's the first time that it worked the biggest, and I thought there's no way it's going to work. And it did. So I've been using it for more than 6 years now. I believe you can as well. The key is no bluffing. If you're going to charge $150,000 for something as a professional services, and you've only ever charged like 25, you have to produce 6x minimum the value, if not 10x the value that you have provided to other people in the past, unless there's a very good reason for you to increase your prices. Otherwise, you're kind of a scammer, slammer, and spammer. I don't want you to be a scammer, slammer, spammer. So, door in the foot, in sales and marketing and B2B, I have found high stakes business persuasion that door in the foot works better than foot in the door. Foot in the door does seem to work a little bit better with personal relationships. And I haven't heard this differentiation described before. I think the reason door in the foot doesn't work in personal relationships is because the ask is so much further outside of what they were expecting. Like, if your husband has, let's say, wronged you in some way and there's conflict, then if you ask him for a $50,000 ring, let's say, for like not even a wedding ring or wedding band, no, not even an engagement ring replacement, no, a accessory that you might wear a couple of times a year, and that's not the usual amount that you would normally spend on family heirlooms or accessories for her, that might come across as wildly unreasonable. And if you drop down and say, well, okay, I'd be happy with a $5,000 one, then it's pretty manipulative in the personal context. So why am I spending any of these thousands of dollars on you at all? If you wanted the 5, why did you say 50? And then it feels off. But when there's already a budget in mind in the context of business, where we're looking at different vendors, you see, it doesn't map one-to-one. So foot in the door doesn't work, generally speaking, in my opinion, in the same context that door in the foot works. Do you understand that now? I think you do. Foot in the door, personal relationships, yes, it works because of an identity establishment. I'm the kind of person who does nice things for you. That can right wrongs, that can begin to create consistent positive experiences between and among people in committed relationships, even among friends where there's some tension or conflict. In business, it doesn't make sense to go from, can you get me a stick of gum, to, can you hire my company? It just doesn't make any sense. It's just not. It's two different kinds of asks happening here. This is why it's so important to understand why persuasion works, not just that a tactic does. Foot in the door doesn't work every time. This is why. Door in the foot works way better than foot in the door in other contexts, but it doesn't work every time. That's why. That's why you subscribe to Daily Persuasion. That's why you are just about to drop a comment right here telling me that you love the show. Thank you.